Welcome to the Unemployed Podcast. Oh, God, no. Today is a very special day. We're trying something fun, something new. Today is a Just Anna and Ellen episode. We don't have an interview proper. However, we are going to try some fun stuff from our listeners. So we've had some people contribute to this episode, which I'm really excited about. Hi, everybody. How are you? Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Hey, it's so nice to be here just with you. Just a little me and you time.
Just Anna and Ellen time, you know? And I've been begging people on Twitter to reach out to us because I love like involving the people who listen to this podcast. Literally, we are here sitting here recording it for you. So this is your opportunity to reach out, to say anything you want to say. You know, I'm not even asking for anything much. I'm just saying, like, you want to spill your guts on some jobs, or, you know, talk some shit on some former bosses, or I don't know.
We want to hear it. Yeah.
Honestly, anything like that you feel like you need to get off your chest, I am ready for it. I am here for you. And some people took us up on that. You know what I'm saying? Some people
So
they reached out.
Thank you, and we're gonna shout you out in this show.
Totally. Yeah. But first, we wanted to chat a little bit about like work going on in the world, right? The job world, I should say.
Yeah, I have a few employment related stories we can talk about here.
Love it.
So this first one, there's this Wall Street Journal article out right now that some of you might have seen. It came out recently. It talks about people who they're secretly working 2 jobs from home, and therefore they're doubling their salary, which, yes, is very badass.
That's the best thing that ever happened to someone. If you have the energy, like, I'm not saying I do, you know, I'm like over 25 now, and I feel like I don't know that I could do that, but that's like full-time jobs, Ellen, like benefits, like you have to be on Slack all day. Like,
it's like white collar jobs, really. Yeah. Like they had, they asked somebody who's like a software engineer about it, and they're like, yeah, I do 2 jobs a week, and actually only do like 10 hours of work a week because these jobs are just like super easy.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, that just says a lot to me about like a lot of white collar jobs. A lot of these white collar jobs that people can do from home are so easy, or the standards are so low that no one even notices you're splitting your time on another job, which is
that's cool.
Wild.
Yeah. Whereas unlike my field, where it's like you have to, we have an audition for you, it's due in 2 hours, and you have to get that done while also doing another job that makes you money, while also doing another job that you need to do. Like, I do 70 jobs, but I'm paid for like 2, you know?
Yeah. See, you should have become a software engineer.
Every single day I wake up and I go, Anna, in your next life, become a coder, you know, do something.
That's
get into
easiest.
Finance, do better at math, you know, just learn something, you know. I sat through fucking 12 years of school, and I was like, which Broadway show will I be in first?
Yeah. Well, you know,
what do you think about that, though?
I think like more power to them if you can take advantage of this system and make it work for you.
Hell yeah.
Do it. And a lot of these jobs probably, I mean, not the software engineer probably, but a lot of these white collar jobs probably, you know, mediocre salaries, like some benefits. So like if it's not like stressing you out, like I'm impressed, go for it.
Right. And in person, you'd be doing one of these because you'd have to commute there. You'd have to, you know, be there every day. Like you wouldn't be able to do 2 of these. So like it is kind of a little bit of a silver lining of a pandemic that you got to go home and... My lighting is so bad that you got to stay home and double your salary just because you can. I mean, there were a lot of jobs. I don't know, like my day jobs and stuff. Like I was really good at writing a pilot during my day job, you know, and I got my work done. I mean, I wasn't paid yet for that pilot, but
yeah, I think we've all double dipped, you know, a little bit, but I've never had like 2 totally full-time jobs at once. That's a lot. But I thought my first thought when I was reading this article was like, do these people not have LinkedIn? because you can't list 2 full-time
Ellen,
jobs. People would see that. That's
Ellen is
like cheating on your wife on Facebook.
You are married to LinkedIn. You literally like Ellen's like it doesn't count unless it's on LinkedIn. Like,
well, they send me so many emails. I
picture
can't
you
stop
meeting
thinking about
someone,
them.
and you're like, "What do you do?" And they're like, I'm a coder. I build websites." And you're like, "Well, let's see if LinkedIn says something about that."
Looking you up on LinkedIn right now.
She's confirming if this is true or false. Wait, that's so funny though. I imagine if I had a job that's very easy that pays me money and I don't have to do shit for it, like I'm not putting that on LinkedIn, you know? Keep that a secret. Keep that gold close to yourself, you know?
So there's actually a website called Overemployed that, you know.
Whoa, they gotta sponsor us.
Yeah, we gotta hit them up. But so they have like a lot of articles and stuff about like how to do this, having 2 jobs at once. Mm-hmm. And one of their tips is like, you can just say you're on a social media cleanse, and that's why your LinkedIn isn't up to date.
Oh, because LinkedIn counts as social media. Honestly, it does now. People are now updating their LinkedIn like they used to do on Facebook, where you're like, I woke up this morning and I thought about myself and I feel depressed today and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, shut the fuck up. We're on LinkedIn. Okay. This is where I need to be like, yo, where did you go to college? Do we have a friend in common? Can you hire me to write on this TV show? Dope, dope, dope. Like people are now, it's now become an emotional pool.
I think so. I think it's like similar to using Facebook almost at this point where it's a little bit antiquated, LinkedIn. I don't think really, I don't think it matters that much, which is why I like to joke about it.
I told you I go on so infrequently that the last time I went on and I was like, oh, that's weird. I need to update something. And then I got like 3 messages congratulating me on a new job. And I was like, oh, I did this job 5 years ago, but because I updated it, they got some kind of little red flag like Anna's hired.
Yeah, LinkedIn, you're not really on point there.
I love talking so much shit on LinkedIn until they contact us and they're like, we love your podcast. We're there for you. We want to sponsor you. Like, imagine if this was the Unemployed with Anna Roisman brought to you by LinkedIn. I'd lose my fucking mind.
I mean, love it. Yeah.
If anyone works for LinkedIn or has a connection to someone at LinkedIn, please write into the show. This is the whole show. We're going to be like, listen, if you work 2 jobs and you are just playing the job field right now, you got to let us know how it's going.
Or overemployed, maybe you want to sponsor us. I don't know. Look us up.
Overemployed for underemployed. That's a mind fuck. I love it.
Yeah.
Doing this podcast makes me feel overemployed.
That is so true sometimes. Yeah.
And I thank you for joining this dumb idea with me. Ellen wasn't employed when she came on and that was fine. And now she's employed and I feel bad being like, yo, can we do this episode now? And you're like, I have work.
I mean, I'm also on a bowling team, which you know about. And that also feels like a job sometimes too. Hobbies feel like jobs sometimes.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Which, you know what? If you really take it seriously, good. It should. It should feel like a job because maybe it will become a job. Maybe you will become a professional bowler, Ellen. You still have a whole many years left.
Bowling and making a podcast are definitely more fun than an actual job. So no complaints here.
Got it. Besides the one she has now, right?
Oh yeah, besides that one. I love it. I love going to work.
I heard my friend told me someone got fired because they talked shit about their job on a podcast. It wasn't our podcast, don't worry. I don't want to put that out there because I would never ever ever want that. I don't want anyone to be unemployed. But I was like, damn, some employers listen to podcasts. They have time.
I wouldn't go there. It's too risky for sure. It's the same with Twitter or Instagram. I would never post anything.
And that's never what I intended for this to be. This isn't a podcast. People don't shit on old jobs like in such a negative. It's like we're laughing at the jobs we did, like
unless they want to and the old job deserves it. But no, that's not not the main focus.
No, definitely not. I just like to know people's journey and like how they got to where they are through jobs and without jobs, because I'm still figuring it out day after day after day.
Same.
After month, after year, after chasing paychecks. I look today because I didn't get paid for a job over a month ago. I'm like, shit, should I When do I hit up my agent and be like, yo, it's been a net 30 days since this job?
That's probably when you should do it, net 30.
Okay,
because then it's late. Unless they did something in the contract where it's 60 days. But anyway.
You're right, I gotta double check that. Shit.
Because that is a thing. Okay, so anyway, so then the other article I wanted to talk about was I recently heard about this thing that's been happening on Twitch where there's been a wave of streaming from hot tubs and pools.
Yeah.
Over the course of 2021, which is funny.
This is my dream job. I'm not gonna lie. Like when you sent me this, I was like, God damn it, how do we get a fucking hot tub and do this podcast and stream it to Twitch and just get on?
Right. Well, that's what I was going to suggest. If we want to get more views, more listens, maybe we need to move this into a hot tub or a pool. Basically.
I would love to do that. It's really hard in a New York City apartment, though, to find the space and water for a hot tub or a pool.
I know.
They've been doing many years here where I search like hotels with pools, and then you find out it's like $400 for the day, and you're like, never mind, I will shower cold. Like,
okay, so this phenomenon is called hot tub meta streams, and not everyone has like an actual hot tub. They have like inflatable hot tubs. Right. So maybe you could rig something up on your balcony.
An inflatable hot tub. Let me just explain something to you. Even though I live in a cool building, I cannot take a bath in my own bathtub because the hot water doesn't allow it to fill up. So like, I guess if you want to come over and we boil a bunch of water in my soup pots and then pour
Oh, you could go in your actual tub. That would be much easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the hot water thing. Yeah.
But I love the idea of a blow up pool, you know? I think that's fun.
Put on the roof? I don't know.
I used to joke that I wanted to play video games topless because I was like, I like my boobs. It's fine.
It's very, very close to this. So yeah, all of these women are just wearing bikinis and they just sit in hot tubs and pools and just talk to people.
Listen, I don't know if our listeners know, but we're recording this right now. I am actually in a bra only. I don't know if you can see.
It's very close to a bathing suit. Yes.
But I'm saying like if I record in like a string bikini, would you guys sign up for the Patreon? Like, I don't mean to, whore myself out there, but like also... Why not at this point? I mean... It
just sweetens the pot a little, Everybody loves
never promised, and I was told by a doctor I had very tender breasts this week.
Your mammogram? Nice.
Yes.
You have very tender breasts. So
apparently I'm just so young and tender. It's like sick. They were like, we can't, it's hard to read because they're just so young and tender. And I was like, wow, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a compliment, right?
Did not expect to come here and get hit on, but I am enjoying it at this point. The last time I had a lover call my breasts tender, I don't think ever, because we don't live in the 1940s.
Jared, come on, step up the game there.
No, I think if you said that, I'd be like, get out of my room.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Remember in 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's like, yeah, her breasts, they felt like just like a bag of sand. And then all the guys are like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, congrats to you for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So anyway, maybe I should use them to make money by doing this podcast.
You might as well try.
I'd have to warn our guests. I'd be like, be warned. I am in a very string bikini, but please feel free to wear whatever you want. I am going to seriously interview you. I still would love to have you here. This is just...
Oh, yeah. Your guests would be like, why are you wearing a bikini in a hot tub right now?
And I'll be like, girl, I need to make a little money doing this thing already.
But you can do it for like every other social media platform you used to, like just make all your TikToks in like a hot tub or like make all of your soups in a pool.
I do make my soups in bikinis. I don't know if you saw me do that.
You do that. Yeah, you do. I've seen that. Yeah.
I'm on my way, OnlyFans is the end of the line.
Yeah. You just need to throw some water in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always trying to think of creative ways to make more money to support myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everybody, for letting me work that out.
All about being an influencer. So anyway, there's one job that I'm pretty sure you can't do from a hot tub, though.
Okay.
And
What's that?
it's being the guy who does the Austin Power dance every day at that theme park in Australia.
Honestly, yeah. It's funny because I feel like he kind of went viral, right? This job went viral recently. The Austin Powers man. Where was it? Australia?
Yeah, this theme park in Australia called Movie World.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, this job seems great. But also what's funny is we were all like, oh my God, this is wild. This is crazy. But then we're like, what about Broadway actors who play like the same role every night for like 10 years? You know, it's like, I'm Aladdin every single fucking night on Broadway, you know? I do that Aladdin song, you know? And so that's like where I was like, it's so funny. Everyone's like fascinated by this. And it's like, think about theater actors.
It's very similar. I think the thing that really just, it's just the fact that it's the Austin Powers dance, because that movie has just become like such a meme, and it's just like, yeah, it has it's a bit of nostalgia for me, really. Like, and to know that somebody does that dance every single day is just a joy.
Do you know that I was obsessed with Dr. Evil?
Yeah, you do a good Dr. Evil. Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, I've been plagued by that though, because I put it on my resume thinking, this is cool.
This is fun. Yeah.
This is so fun. You know, what does she do? She plays the saxophone, she sings, and she can do Dr. Evil. Like, I just thought, I'm going to stand out here in New York City.
For sure.
I'm not as good as I used to be at it, but I live for Dr. Evil. You know?
Me too. Great character. Shout out Mike Myers.
I met him once.
Did you?
I think he asked me where something was. It was awesome, though. I was like,
was it at work?
No, I met him at Just for Laughs in Montreal at the at an event. Yeah, it was so fun. I post that picture every now and then because it's so wild that I met him. He was like so iconic for our childhood, right? I mean, like those movies alone. And like, you know, I feel like I didn't watch SNL as much when he was on, but I knew him more from movies.
Yeah, same. Austin Powers was my favorite movie.
Do you have a favorite of the? It's 3, right?
Mm-hmm. The original, the first one.
The first one.
That's
the second one I remember was really good too. I didn't love the third.
The
third is the fat bastard one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit, they didn't need to make that third one. They went a little too far with that.
I don't know. I like that it came in 3, you know, and I sort of like a good trilogy like that. Like, we'll remember it. Sometimes it'll be on, you know, they'll have like that third one on and I'll be like, which one is this? You know, because I don't remember the third one as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm just happy it's on, you know?
Right. I mean, out of all the Mike Myers movies, I think that's probably my favorite series.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to also bring in a story that one of our listeners sent in a long time ago when I wanted to do Christmas stories. But you know what? I like this story a lot, so I wanted to read it. And this is from a listener. So we're going to call this Story Time from a Listener. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
We had our office Christmas party at the local pub. There were maybe around 30 to 40 people there, all drinking outside, eating nibbles, and making merry. I didn't drink because I was driving, so I sat in the corner observing the going-ons. Towards the end of the night, this absolutely horrible bitch, who was a mess the entire night, sitting on men's laps, flashing her tits around, oh my God, who did I work with? Punched one of the other employees in the face. Just kidding, it wasn't me. As the only sober person, I was witness to the entire event and ended up being the key witness in the inquiry at work the next week. She had tried to give this guy a friendly punch on the shoulder, but missed. So wound up for a second attempt, missed again, and got him right in the face. I love that this person was like, and I fucking watched this whole thing. Photos of his black eye were submitted to the inquiry. She ended up getting fired because despite it being an honest accident, I don't know if you call that an honest accident.
Doesn't sound like it. Sorry.
She was still a bitch that was in a shocking state and no one liked her. I also ended up getting her job after she left.
Oh, okay. Come on. A friendly punch. Really?
Here's the
Who
thing.
likes a friendly punch?
Also, a friendly punch times 3. Like, if you miss the first time, you don't go back for the friendly punch. You know, it's like an awkward first kiss. You know, with someone. It's like if you miss their mouth, there's no coming back from that. You can't then kiss and make it romantic or nice or anything. Like,
it's not going to be fun or cool.
Yeah, but I love that, you know, the last line of this really does give me all the explanation I need. I ended up getting her job after she left, which means sat there sober, you know, I'm sober, I'm looking cute, I'm having some snacks, I'm watching this fucking mess of a drunk woman
letting it happen,
beat the shit out of a coworker because I'm getting her job. Yeah. It's like the kindest, nicest Tanya Harding moment ever, right? Like, she's not going to go and take her down. She's going to watch herself fall. Like, it was,
I feel like maybe I've been in this situation before where I just see somebody sort of like doing something wrong, but I don't want to like step in and correct them because they're a bad person and they deserve it. But, you know. I get it.
I'm too vocal. I think if I see something, I'm going to be like, this is wrong. Like, I would be like, don't punch him. You're drunk. Go eat, go drink some water. Go get away from this man.
Well, you're a better person than me.
I guess so. Who knew? After I pretended I was that person in this story, I was like, ooh, that's me. I'm having drinks. I'm taking my top off and I'm punching people? Nope, not me. That's not me. I love this story, though. I think this is great. I can't wait for Christmas time because I do want to get more holiday stories. Like, oh, man, holiday Christmas, you know, there are like certain events that just that happen and shouldn't happen. And I feel like holiday parties for offices is like a big one, right?
Mm-hmm. I love a good office holiday party story.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have
an office holiday party.
I do like that as well. But, and I do because I think a lot of people we've talked to actually haven't liked them for some reason.
Yeah, they haven't. I think they feel like it's a little bit too personal. Like, you're in a different state. You're drinking alcohol. You're out. You're not in work mode. And some people aren't here to make friends.
It is a little bit cringe and awkward, but it's also, that's kind of what's fun about it because you get to see people kind of be a mess. And it's a little bit fun sometimes.
And then take their fucking jobs when they mess up too hard.
And just take their jobs.
Yeah, right? While we're on that, I also asked for our listeners if you could say anything to an old boss or your current boss or anything anonymously, what would you say? Ellen, I want you to think about if you have something to say too. To a current boss, to an old boss. You don't have to name names, anybody. I don't want anyone to ever get in trouble, but it would be so fun. So I got a couple that, not many, but I got a couple. Someone said, this was real, that their boss said, you are really going to do great stuff with that big, beautiful brain of yours. I'm not worried about you. It's cringy, right? It's a little weird.
Yeah.
And then this person wished that they didn't say this, but they wished. They said, you should worry about me because my big, beautiful brain is telling me to burn this place to the ground.
A little arson mixed in there. It sounds I good.
Love it. She also wrote, decades later, I'm still sore. Screw that guy. I love it. You said burn this place to the ground because you're still kind. Like you're still being too nice. You didn't say, I want to fucking burn this place with you in it. You didn't, which could have been what you said, right?
Right. Yeah. Do you have anything in like that you would want to tell your boss?
I wish I used to work when I worked in restaurants. I had some sleazy fucking bosses, and I'm sure they can all guess who they are at this point. I'm not going to name names, but one of them, I wish I said, I hope the security cameras catch you doing cocaine in this office because you seem to catch people on their phones. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Thank you. Wow, that felt real good. This is cathartic, actually, guys. Send in your shit. It could even be something nice. You know what I mean? It could be something nice. You know what I'd say? I had a nice boss once at another restaurant that I worked at, a female, and And she was a bossy bitch. Like, she was awesome in a good way. I meant that as a compliment. And I was like, you know, you really have your shit together. All these other like dude managers should take a fucking lesson from you. Like, she just like, you know, she wasn't like, I don't know. She didn't really even have to try hard. Like, she was just like a real person, like a cool person. So many people have such a fucking ego, especially in the restaurant world. It's so pretentious that like the male managers, not all of them, you guys, some of you guys rock, but you know, some of them are like, I have to be more pretentious than the guests that I serve. So like it comes out in the way they manage their own staff. Yeah. That was kind of the vibe I got. Or I just worked in the wrong places. You know what I mean? We had one more. Someone on Twitter said, you used me to get approvals at many accounts. And once that was accomplished, you fired me. Not the way to treat an employee.
They're right.
No. I feel like on this podcast, sometimes I talk about like employee versus boss. Like, we are completely different playing fields. I hope some of you guys listening to this thing are bosses and you manage people, because I think you can learn a lot from the complaints that we get. You know, that's why I do this. I want to be my own boss. So start with a podcast, they say.
That's what they say. Yeah.
No.
That's, you know, that old saying, start with a podcast.
Oh my God. There's a commercial out right now. You know, I have cable TV and I love commercials and I watch them and I audition for them and I hope to be the voice of all of them. But there's this commercial out. I can't remember what it's for. It's not for anything in the podcast world, but it's like two girls, they're like in their 20s and they see a garage, and then like the next shot is like the garage door opening and they're like putting a table together, and then they both have microphones and it's like they're starting a podcast. Oh, it's I know what it is. It's a stomach medication. Why am I not in this commercial? And yeah, it's like it's like a stomach medication, and they like sit down to like record their podcast, and then the one girl's like, uh-oh, like,
she has stomach issues.
She's got to go to the bathroom.
Wait, this is like you. You have stomach issues sometimes.
I do.
Don't you?
Oh, yeah. Not usually when we record, but that's what happened in this.
When we record.
That's what happened in this.
But that's like, why didn't you get this audition? You would have been perfect for it.
I know. You know, sometimes it doesn't come in. You know, you don't get all of them, but. We'll see. We'll see. You know, now they're going to listen to this episode and be like, how do we not record the real, you know, sometimes they're like, we need real people, not actors. Like, I am the real life person with stomach problems and a podcast. I'm going to find this commercial and send it to you. And if you guys have seen this commercial, if you're listening and you've seen it, please let me know, because I even said, I hate this. What is this commercial? And Jared's like laughing at me because he's like, she relates too hard to this.
That's so perfect.
Ellen, you don't have anything you'd say to a boss?
I mean, I probably would have some things to say to a boss. It's just, there are so many things I could say.
I don't feel like you won't like you said before, you would be quiet if you saw something wrong. I don't think you would like get in a room and yell at a boss.
No.
So we had someone a while ago. I asked if anyone wanted to do a call on the show, because we haven't done a call in a really long time. And someone on Twitter responded and they said, if you ever are looking to talk to a person whose job is to manage newspaper distribution in Montana, I'm your guy. And I thought, yeah, I'd like to know about it. I want to know. I'm curious. I have some questions, and
for sure.
Excited to know why they wanted to talk to us. So we're going to let this guest on.
Okay.
Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Alex.
Alex, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
I'm happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Thanks for responding. You know, I love to talk to people from all over the place. And you said you had a lot of buzzwords in your response on Twitter. You know, you said that you are employed. Congratulations. And that your job is to manage newspaper distribution in Montana.
Yes.
Very impressive.
That is very impressive. Two, you know, duds in New York who are doing a podcast right now. I'm like, wow, this guy really has it together. You're really
far from it, really, but I try.
Are you from Montana?
I am not. I grew up in Colorado, and I went to college in Ohio, and now I'm in Montana.
Nice. Very nice. How did you end up there?
I grew up in the mountains in Colorado in a little tiny town that no one's ever heard of, and I missed the mountains, and Colorado was too expensive, so I picked Montana instead.
I love that. I love that. You were like, where on a map makes sense for me and physically, with my physical surroundings. That's beautiful. I hate that I picked New York. Every day I wish I could leave this awful city.
They won't let her leave. She's not allowed to go.
They won't let me leave. Oh my God. So I wanted to know, I'm curious, tell me about your job. Tell me what you do. Because, you said it and it sounds great, but I want to know what that means.
Well, it's a little bit more local than the buzzwords would have you believe. I do manage a pretty large area, but I live in Missoula, Montana, which is a town of about 70,000 or so.
Okay.
And the local paper here, the Missoulian, I'm a circulation manager. And so my job is to coordinate all of the people who deliver the newspaper.
Wow.
And we cover a pretty wide, we cover a range of about 250 miles north and south.
And how are they delivering them? Trucks?
Well, yeah. They're printed, and then we have a little warehouse for distribution. And then they come and pick them up, and we've got a couple of people that truck them to different cities. But people are just driving them all over the place and then driving them to addresses.
I was going to say, does anyone do the bike anymore?
I'm not sure it's possible to do that anymore because the areas that people deliver are just too big these days, and there's too many papers to manage of over too large of an area.
Don't you feel like that was so nice how every movie started out with like a paper boy on the bicycle and then they toss it into the yard and you're like, wow, the suburbs seem lovely.
Yeah. Well, and it does happen occasionally where if we have somebody quit or if we've got somebody that can't deliver for whatever reason, depending on what our staffing situation is, I have to step in and do that sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And I'll run into old people all the time when I'm doing that. That'll be like, I delivered papers on my bike when I was 8 years old in 1942. And
oh,
that doesn't happen anymore.
And you're like, I'm the manager. Someone didn't show up for work.
Yeah.
Basically. A little bit different. Oh,
yeah.
I love that. So I have a question, and maybe you can't answer this, but do you get the news first? Like, do you get the paper before everyone? Like, can you see the newspaper first?
I can. It's very rare that I actually look at it.
Because you're like, I have Twitter.
Our local news isn't that exciting, and the national news I get from the internet, and so it's very rare that I'll look at the newspaper and see the front page and be like, oh, that's something I actually want to read today. Wow. But so I'll see the front page, but I very rarely crack it open anymore, except to do the crossword.
Oh, okay. Wait, what was the name of the newspaper again?
The Missoulian.
The Missoulian.
I love that name.
Shout out to the Missoulian. If they're listening to this, put Alex on the cover for being my guest on today's episode of Unemployed. I really think that would be some fun press.
Apropos of Unemployed, I'm actually only going to be here for about another month. Because I'm moving again.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that this was not on your terms.
No. I'm I have a 5-year-old little girl. And me and her mom are moving back to Ohio to be closer to her mom's family.
That's nice.
Cool.
And so in about 6 weeks I will be unemployed. And I'm working to fix that right now.
I love how you say working to fix it. Some of us embrace it. You don't have to always fix it. No, I'm kidding. That's probably the better way to look at unemployment is fix it and don't be in it.
It's also work. Unemployment is work because you're looking for a new job. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely been work, and I'm looking for a new apartment right now and everything. So.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm in the stress of it right now.
I hope you've told them already, right? This is
yes, I have.
Okay, I was going to say, because you've said it on the podcast. So, God forbid, I was talking about before. I know someone who got laid off or fired because they said something on a podcast. They're not going to be like, "Hey, Alex gave his notice on a podcast."
They've known for about 2 weeks now.
Okay. That's a nice amount of time. Have you enjoyed it there? Have you
Yes, I have enjoyed it, and it's a very odd job. I know the reaction you're going to give when I say this, but I have very odd work hours. My normal day is 2 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that the reaction you wanted? Well, what if I was like,
well,
wow.
Every single person I've ever told that goes, wow, how do you do that?
With a kid too, I'd imagine.
Well, it's actually easier with the kid.
Oh, really?
I don't have to worry about daycare or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. But when do you sleep?
Yeah, I was going to say, then you work as a parent all day and then go to work at night?
I manage to sneak in about an hour to 2 hours of a nap in the afternoon most days. And then I sleep 4 or 5 hours at night and I'm good to go.
Wow.
Oh, we got to figure it out.
You got a double wow from me. That's pretty awesome. So now that you're looking for new jobs in Ohio, do you want to keep that kind of job and that kind of schedule? I figured it was going to be weird hours because the newspaper comes out in the morning and you know.
It's what I've been doing for about 5 years now. And before that, I was a night shift manager at McDonald's for 4 years in college. So
you're used to this nighttime.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a normal sleep schedule. So
wow. May I ask, does your wife work in the day?
She does.
So
well, and I should clarify, we're not actually together anymore.
Okay, got it.
It was an amicable split up, and there's no bad feelings or anything. And I mean, we decided to make this move together. So, but it's been. We work together pretty well, and she works during the day, and then I come pick her up when I get off work, and then I drop her off before bedtime on days that I work. On days that I'm off, she sleeps at my house. So.
Oh, it's some great co-parenting. Love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you do have it together. Remember, you were like, "I don't have it together." I'm like, "This sounds like it sounds like you have your week planned out, and you have a nice schedule, and the hours you're able to do. I admire that. I really think that's cool. So you want to keep this nighttime? You want to keep the nighttime party going, right?
Well, maybe. I'm open to other things. One of the jobs I'm looking at right now is. A job I just submitted an application for this morning actually was to do basically what I do for FedEx, but with FedEx drivers.
Cool.
And that would be a 9 to 5. So.
Wow.
That'd be cool.
That's a different world. You're going to show up first day and be like, this 9 to 5 thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know how I'll handle 9 to 5, but I'll give it a try if I can find something.
It's so funny because you say 9 to 5, there are so many people who are 9 to 5ers, right? And they always have been and they always will be. And those are the hours they work. They will not work past 5. They will not work before 9. And then I used to work in restaurants and bars, and Ellen and I worked for HQ Trivia and all these jobs. And I do comedy shows. Everything's at night.
Yeah.
So and tonight I have to work tonight. So I always think of work as sometimes I don't eat breakfast until 2 p.m. or shower at 3 p.m. because it's still my morning. And then, I did have a 9 to 5 job and I remember it a hard transition, Alex. I'll say that. Start setting the alarm now because I had to lie every day. I was like, oh, I missed my train. And they're like, no, you didn't. Every day. I was like, oh yeah, my dog was sick again. Someone ate my homework. I feel like this isn't school.
What this FedEx job reminds me of though? Castaway, Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Is it that?
I won't be that important.
Okay. Well, just be careful,
Alex. You seem like you're gonna climb that ladder real fast. They're gonna be glad to have you in Ohio.
We'll see.
Are you I feel like this is exciting. I feel like this is a cool part, an exciting time in your life to move. I don't know if you feel this way, but after the pandemic, I sort of feel a little jaded by where I am because I've been here for so many days that my boyfriend and I are considering moving, and it's just I don't know, there's something nice about a fresh start in this new hopefully post-COVID soon world. I don't know.
We'll change the scenery.
COVID is interesting from my perspective because I wore the mask. I was very careful. I got the vaccination and everything, but my day-to-day life didn't really change during the pandemic because I was an essential worker. I never had any time off from COVID or anything like that. And so it's seeing all the people talk about it like that is strange to me because that wasn't my experience.
You know, I feel a little bit of both because I got really good at being like unemployed. So when we were in COVID, I was like, back to this life. Okay, here I go again. But yeah, no, I want to say thank you for continuing to work throughout the entire pandemic because you know what? There are a lot of people who needed that newspaper every morning and, you know, they had enough change in their life that you kept something consistent for them. So I think that's really cool that you got to work during the whole pandemic.
Yeah, thank you. Well, and my life didn't change enough to the fact that this is actually my very first ever Zoom call.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. I feel honored. Is there anything? Oh my God. This is your first Zoom call.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. Honestly, I forget what was your job again? I'm blown away. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining Zoom for us.
Oh, it's no problem.
Wow.
My family is technologically illiterate, so it just wasn't something that we ever did.
Don't worry, I didn't do it until I had to do this podcast somehow. So I was like,
sometimes I still don't understand why we're using Zoom. There's so many other ways to do a video chat. Like, why did we start using Zoom?
Well, and that was a strange thing that I was thinking about when all of this first started and everyone was talking about Zoom meetings. I had never heard of Zoom before the pandemic. And but I knew about stuff like Skype and I know of one called like GoToMeeting and stuff like that. There are a lot of different services. So I just don't understand how Zoom ended up being the one.
Right? Yeah. I know. It's funny you said Skype. I was like, wow, I haven't heard that word in forever. It's like the old sister they forgot about, you know, the Skype.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Alex, do you listen to the podcast? I'm curious how you found us and shared, your life with us.
I learned about you in the early days of HQ. I was a word nerd. And
hell yes, you were. Yes. I love meeting the word nerds because there's a lot of trivia nerds, but the word nerds are cooler.
Yeah. And then I enjoyed your style. And so I looked up some of your YouTube video stand-up stuff. I love comedy. So, and then I started following you on Twitter and I listened to about an episode and a half of the podcast today, but I had never listened to it before today.
Well, I hope I made you a believer. I hope I brought you into this world. That's so sweet. I'm flattered. Thank you so much for supporting some stuff I've done.
Yeah.
Ellen was the producer of HQ.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I worked there.
Yeah, Ellen made that thing run. I just stood in front of the camera and did that stuff, but all those graphics, all those extra lives you got, all those graphics, all those, winner chicken dinner videos, that was all Ellen.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for that. I haven't played in quite a while now, but I enjoyed it while I did it.
Aw, that's great. Well, Alex, it was awesome meeting you. Thank you so much for calling in and just, showing us a little bit into your life in Montana, soon to be Ohio.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks. All right. Keep in touch. Let me know what kind of job you end up with in Ohio. We're going to follow up with you. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. You've got my email.
All right. I do. I definitely do. Thanks, Alex.
Right. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was great.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. Oh my God. This was so fun. We end with a call. Ellen, I like this. We should do another catch-up episode like this.
Yeah.
And guys, if listeners out there, if you want to call into the show and let us know about the jobs you've had or have lost or, want to say hi or fan of the show, have a fun job story. I love connecting with the fans. I love to do it when I was on HQ and I love doing it here. So, yeah, even though Alex is a new fan.
I love learning about people's jobs. I've never even thought about somebody. There needs to be somebody to coordinate newspaper routes.
Right?
What? That's
Yeah.
great.
I know. And it's really cool. I think it's so cool that he got to do that for people. Like, imagine not having like your morning coffee every day. Like there are certain things that like you don't want everything to change in the face of, a pandemic or whatever. So I think it's really cool that he did his job the whole time.
For sure.
And he's dedicated. He's going to find something even better in Ohio. I feel it. I feel it for Alex. All right, that's it. If you guys want to say any mean shit or nice shit to your old bosses, you know where to find us. theunemployedteam@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram. Find us on Twitter. I mean, it's really not hard. Unemployed with Anna. You can find me everywhere. And find Ellen, Ellen, do you want people to follow you? I never ask you because Ellen's more private. Ellen.
Yeah, you could follow me. Probably if you just look my name up, you'll probably find my account.
Make it harder. That's like saying, like, what day is it? And it's like, Anna, you could probably look at a calendar. Like, I'm not going to tell you, but
listen. Okay, follow me on Instagram. It's my full name, Ellen Amelia Burke, I think.
Yes. And I'm at Anna Roisman. And everybody go I did a little influencer job today. That's like hitting gold. I love influencing. So go find my post. Although this episode's going to come out. I don't know when it's going to come out, but go find my post.
Hopefully by then Popcorners will have given you some popcorners to promote.
But for now, download Acorn TV. I got a code for it. Ellen probably would. You probably would like what I influenced today because it is actual international TV shows, and I feel like I
love
Ellen.
the BBC. Yes.
Oh yeah, you gotta download Acorn TV. I got a code for you. 30% off.
I will.
All right, that's it. That's our episode. We'll be back with more, but go listen to all 75 other ones in the meantime. And if you want to see me in a bra, join the Patreon.
Woo!
Jared pops up. What's she talking about?
Excuse me.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Bye.
Right now, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody who has supported our Patreon. This is your shout out right here from me. Tons of love. And if you haven't checked out our Patreon, all of our videos go up there. Sometimes I just write fun things because I feel like it. And it's just a really nice way to support us at Unemployed and, so we can keep this thing going. We do it for nothing. We do it for fun. We do it for you to listen to. So definitely check out the Patreon. And right now, huge shout out to our patrons, Bill Horton, Chi of Steele, Danielle McCartney, Lori Jackson, Jeannie Logan. We got Joe Galati, Chris Arneson, Jordan Lucero, Oscar Yuen, Ken Levin, and Vic Terry. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to us, and I appreciate you, and I see you, and I love you.